do we change the world? How do we make a new place in it, a place we see it needs? How do we begin? Visionaries begin with a dream.
Originally, I think that we had a very small dream, and it was a very concrete one. It was classrooms in which women could learn, unhassled by any social agenda as to who they were and the extent to which they could legitimately participate. An MBA classroom is a very unusual place. Everybody in there is competing to be heard, competing to say things that sound important to the professor.
One of the reasons why I wanted to come to the Simmons GSM was because I had an undergraduate experience at Harvard, being in a section where I wasn't called upon. And so I knew what it was like to be in that kind of an environment. And I wanted to be in an environment where I could feel it was safe to speak up.
And we really can't be afraid to take risk, and that's what the preparation is all about.
One of the things that attracted me to this school was the sense of community the minute I walked in the door, that I wasn't someone different, that I fit in, and that the school, through the dean's leadership, would provide whatever resources I needed to be successful.
Whether we like to say this or not, men and women do grow up differently. They are equal, they are both competent, but there are differences. And that someone needed to give women an opportunity to explore what that meant in terms of their ability to be most productive in the organizational world and in the management profession. Not better, not worse, competitive, productive. And that's why we started the school.
When a good dream is shared, it gathers strength from new believers. President William Holmes and friend of Simmons, Coleman Mockler, believed in Margaret Hennig and Ann Jardim from the beginning.
Margaret and Ann had submitted a proposal to the Simmons College Board of Directors and the president. And in that proposal, the very first proposal that I think they submitted in 1974, lay the groundwork, the plan, the foundation, the strategic plan, if you will, for the graduate program, for the middle management program, and for everything that came after that.
I think they felt that they were exceptionally fortunate to have President William Holmes have the faith in them that he had. And basically, when their idea of a graduate program in management evolved, that's really all that President Holmes had to go on, was faith.
Faith, heart, and soul, intellect, and conscience are strong wings to propel a dream beyond obstacles like limited resources. Among the network of women who became believers early on were Gloria Steinem, stockbroker Julia Walsh, and Ms. Magazine editor Pat Carbine. The first students arrived and became believers too.
I think it was the message, and I think it was the passion and the idea and the vision that Margaret and Ann provided me that allowed me to do my recruiting as well as I could.
We had a catalog that was a brochure, that was a flyer, done in two colors, yellow and brown. Highly attractive. But women came.
The early classes were over at the main campus, and some were in some fairly strange places, like very small classrooms up on the second floor, and very tiny, kind of cramped. You felt like you were in the sixth grade sort of classroom.
Hennig and Jardim and the faculty gave women a new text in The Managerial Woman. By teaching the case study method, they enhanced the educational experience and enriched the behavioral core.
When I decided to come to this program, I think that what helped me was to know of the academic excellence that Ann and Margaret brought because they had been to Harvard Business School and were well known. But I really didn't get the flavor for that special thing that they bring until I took the behavioral courses.
The M&B courses have really given me a way to look and a structure to look at the workplace and to really see the dynamics of what goes on there, not to over-personalize it, but just to take that structure and be able to view scenarios and situations in such a way that I can really work with them. And I never had that before.
Hennig and Jardim opened breathtaking new vistas for women. They challenged each and every student to believe in herself. The manner in which they shared their insight and knowledge remains the true measure of their legacy.
They were wonderful to me. I was with them and shared with them in the early years some wonderful, funny times. As I mentioned, they've changed my life, and I love them.
And I really want to thank you, Margaret and Ann, for making this possible for me, for taking me from the last generation through this new generation, for teaching me, for letting me have a career.
I want to thank Ann and Margaret for creating a difference in my life. I always say that my life is before and after Simmons. Even though I've worked for Bank of Boston now almost 30 years, my biggest successes have come after I got my degree from this school.
I've been strengthened by the wisdom of the deans. I think that's what's really touched me, and their ability to envision the future, whether it was 20 years ago or even today. They're still envisioning the future of what needs to take place in the workplace in regards to women.
Ann and Margaret changed my life by creating this institution and allowing me to be a part of it. And I don't think there's anything more that I could say except just thank you for being able to have that opportunity.
To each of them, in her own special way, there has been something that has come to me that would not have happened without their presence otherwise. To Ann, perhaps it was her great ability, is her great ability to think, to analyze, to be a friend, to see to the core of things. And to Margaret, most particularly, she is as though she's my family. And I know I can count on Margaret, and I believe she knows she can always count on me.
When a dream becomes reality and changes our world for the better, the dreamers deserve our gratitude. For they are the visionaries who first saw our need. They are the pioneers who dared to venture forward. They are the creators who built a safe place to learn. They are the leaders who showed us the way.
The GSM is a community of women. That's what it is. It is a community of women who, on the one hand, acknowledge the complete diversity that exists equally among and between women, as it does in a larger society. However, it also recognizes a commonality and a commitment, most particularly of life experience, that brings us into mid-adulthood with a whole variety of both strengths and powers and also needs. It is a community of women that says, for whatever hasn't been, we as a community of women will help you, each of you, get what you need.